Good morning, Peggy.
Good morning, Winnie.
I miss you so much. You're out in sunny Florida, right?
I am.
Yeah. So, well, tell me. Originally, you worked for a beautiful school district, and now, what's going on?
Now I'm retired. Yay!
Because yeah, well, who were you working with before?
I was working for Pinellas County School Board. It's a very large school district. We have really big countywide districts in Florida. So it was like 100,000 students.
Oh yeah, I love my Pinellas. Oh, you guys are just wild and sweet, and woo, it's all that sunshine from Florida.
Right.
And all that orange juice.
Yeah, some orange juice for sure.
I think that's the secret juice to life is having a lot of good orange juice.
Orange juice, and then there's the beach and the ocean and all the good stuff.
I know, walking around in your flip-flops, right? But wait, show me your shirt. Show me your t-shirt. Let me see.
Oh, my shirt is from John Lennon's song, Imagine There's No Hunger.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I wish I knew that shirt. I'm going to go get that too. I'm going to find a way to order it. This is from my lunch lady, Alessandra, who worked for her, still works for Hernando County in Florida. And she makes this on her Cricut machine at home. So I got this and then I posted it, and everybody who wanted one also ordered from her. She's super sweet. And she just wanted to show us lunch ladies, our muscles, right, Peggy? Yeah. Show us your muscle, Peggy. Show us your muscle. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Wait, so, okay, I've always, I gravitated towards you from the first time I met you. Do you remember that? It was like.
I do remember. I had been told about you from our mutual friend, Judy Osmo, and she said, you have to meet Winnie Chang, and loved you from the first minute.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. I love my sister Judy. She's wild and beautiful, just like you. And so I'm curious, like all these years ago, when I first met you, I always wanted to learn about your story. Like, how did you get into child nutrition? So tell me.
So that was a real accident. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I had a son that needed some special attention in school, and I knew he wasn't going to get that at the middle school we were zoned for. And in the next town over, they built a brand new middle school, and I thought, well, let me go there and see. So I went there on the kitchen staff. I didn't have any experience except youth sports concessions and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And plus I was cooking for a family of 8. So, that's pretty good experience right there.
That's good training.
Yeah. So I went to that school and worked there for a year so that I could bring him there on a special attendance permit. So that locked me in for 3 more years. And I started off, serving and doing the dish room, and worked myself through all the different jobs in the kitchen until finally I was the head cashier. And I was ready to get a full-time job when I told my manager I probably wouldn't be back in the fall. She recommended me to apply for the manager intern program. So because I was doing a lot of her office stuff at that point anyway. So she knew I would be good at it. And so I did that for a year. And then I got right into a beautiful elementary school. I was there for a year and a half, but I always wanted to get back into middle school because that's where I started. And I really liked working with those kids. The little ones are so cute and huggable and everything. But the middle school ones, they're developing their personality. And you get really good conversation with them. So I went to the middle school. I worked there for 10 years. I was responsible for starting their breakfast program because they didn't have one when I went there. Ooh. And just broke my heart because the first year that I was doing the free and reduced lunch applications and sending the letters home, people would call me because on the letter it would say, your child has been accepted for or approved for free and reduced breakfast and lunch. And they would call me and ask me about the breakfast. And it's like, we don't have breakfast. So it took me 2 years to persuade the principal to let me have a breakfast program. And it just took off like crazy. The kids needed it so badly. So that was, I felt one of my major accomplishments was to bring breakfast to that school.
Wow. Wait, how long ago was this?
Oh, that was probably around 2002 or 3.
Wow.
All of our middle schools have breakfast now, but at that time it was optional and only a few of them had it.
Mm-hmm. And
the administration didn't want to have one more meal that they had to, supervise and everything. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it really helps the parents, like, in the morning when they got to get ready for work and everything. And it's such a load off because not only does it benefit the parents from having less stress and rushing, having to get them to school and work. And then, but it opens up like opportunity for us to have a job and to be a part of their family life and reduce
my best lunch ladies were people who had kids in the school.
Yep, exactly. And that's how you got into it. So wait, how many years have you been in child nutrition?
Oh gosh. Well, it was 20 when I left. And that was a couple years ago. So
that's a whole person.
I know. People grew up in 20 years, but so I had 10 years at the middle school, and then I was approached by the central office to apply for a position that was opening up there, purchasing the food and the supplies and the USDA foods and everything for the entire district. And I thought, well, I always thought I would retire from this job because I loved working with the students so much, but this was a way I could reach even more students. So
exactly.
I applied for that job and was offered it, and I worked there for 10 years.
Wow! Because the intricacies, from going from every part of the job in a kitchen, and you know how crazy it gets in that kitchen, in all those kitchens. I mean,
and that helps so much in like developing menus and stuff, because you have to think about how many things are going in the steamer and how many are going in the oven and how many pans. You have enough pans for all this food, and it helped me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, like I can imagine, like like the logistics, because like if the food didn't show up on time or it was rot or something happened, the truck flipped over and nothing came and there's like hardly any food in the freezers, like how are you gonna feed all the kids that's on the menu? And it's just things happen, right? Like a lot of crazy things.
It's really scary, and those things do happen, Winnie, but it's vendors and brokers like yourself who made that part of the job doable, because all of you want to make sure the kids get fed too. Nobody wants those kids to come in and not have food. So so everybody in your industry really bent over backwards to make sure if our food was held up somewhere, we got it from somebody else. Even if they had to sell us a competitor's food, they would make sure we had the food. So that is awesome about child nutrition, is the way everybody works together to get those kids fed.
Yeah, see, because that's the end thing about what the goal is I don't care where you get this food, as long as you get it and you can cook it and make sure the kid gets that loving cooked food. I'm super happy. Our family, that's all we care about is like the universal feeding. Like we think it's so, like it's a no-brainer, like just to feed all the kids, in school, like they eat and then they thrive, they can study better. They're not hangry, like having, you know about that.
I do.
I mean, you've seen it, right? Like when they're just hungry.
I have, our school was a big turnover school for principals. It was like a jumping ground. If they could make it there, then they could get promoted to somewhere else, But there was one principal that came in that just, she was like a little Barbie doll stick figure, and she just didn't think the food was important.
Oh.
You know, if the kids can't get there in time for breakfast, they don't eat. Okay? That was her rule. We had to turn them away. Some of the teachers would send the kids to me with a note, and at that point, I can feed the kids. That's what I want to do. I want to feed the kids. And the teachers know how those kids are going to be all morning, you know, with the tears and the anger and not being
they're antsy. They're unsettled. I mean, how do you focus when your stomach is growling and eating its own stomach lining? Like, I mean, but I think it also has to do with education, where not all adults actually get this part, and it's okay. It's just they didn't learn it. They don't fully understand it. You know, perhaps they never felt that way. They never been in that situation, so they can't really relate. But you know, it's no one's fault. It's just that I honestly truly believe education is the key. Once people really understand the concept of, oh, when you got a nice full belly, you can function better as a person. You know, and you know, it's always been really funny in my head, like how it's not that widely, I don't know what's the word, known. But okay, so tell me, like, for all those years, like 20 years, what kept you going? Because I can imagine you having to deal with a lot of stress, a lot of stuff falls on your shoulders, and I mean, things left and right from parents and guardians and teachers and associations and higher ups. Like, how did you get through all that?
To me, Winnie, that's what made the job so wonderful, is it wasn't just a boring, every day's the same job. You went to work every day and you knew you were going to feed the students, but you didn't know what the rest of it was going to bring. Were you going to have power? Were you going to have gas? Were you going to have water? You know, was there going to be a lockdown? Was there going to be a, you know, evacuation?
Yeah.
There going to be angry parents, you know? Yeah. You never knew from one day to the next. And so it did take a lot of quick decision making, but it also took a lot of teamwork. We had, you know, good people that we could rely on to call for backup, and that was all great too.
See, I love it. It's always been the people, huh? Like the team.
Is. And people we call it stress. It was very stressful, but it's normal stress, you know, it's what you're used to. So it's, you know.
It's because you care so much. And that's why you're like, oh, the power is gone. How are you going to cook all this food? Ah!
Oh my gosh, we're going to take boxes of corn dogs to the neighboring school and cook them and bring them back. You know, it's always something you can do. So
it's just, but see, that's the thing. That's why your mind is so sharp. You've been sharpening this beautiful brain of yours because there's so many things that happen and come at you. You're like, hua, 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 like you're dodging them. You're like, and I tell you, I think this is why no matter what age we're going to be at, our brains are going to be very like on point throughout however long we get to be on Earth. Because we've been using it so well, not letting it turn to mush. Like, what do you think? I feel like that's very true.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, the more you use it, the better it works.
I think so. Like my granddaddy passed away, I think 98 years old, and he remembered everyone, everything. He was able to walk by himself until I think 96. And then he started using a cane, super like on it, you know, and his brain, he was always thinking and working and doing things, and he never let it turn to mush. And I think that's where I get the idea from. Why do you think I'm always like running around doing stuff like you guys? I truly, that's what I believe. Us lunch heroes, lunch people, lunch anybody, lunch lads, lunch ladies, you guys inspire me so much every day. There's times sometimes I just like say, should I give up? Like, it just, all this trying to get universal feeding is such a big task. It's such a big mountain to climb. And we've been climbing for, I don't know how many years now, right? In trying to get everyone fed, breakfast, lunch, supper. Like, I would like breakfast, lunch, supper for all kids. But it's, it's still getting there, right? Still getting there. There's so many of us fighting for that,
Yeah.
and talking to the beautiful government to get them to understand where we are and
Yeah.
the effects of it. Okay, so this is my one big question for you, Peggy, my sister. I have my Harry Potter wand, and if I gave you this magic wand and you can make any wish, the first thing, what would you like to do?
I would like to take your wand and make everybody kind.
Yes! Yes!
Everybody.
It starts there, doesn't it?
It does. It does. If everybody's kind to each other, then that takes away a lot of our problems.
It's just so much easier to get things done, I think. Like when you think of everyone as a whole, and maybe learn to put away that ego, put away the selfish, motives, but think bigger, think community, think all the people, right?
Yeah.
And being kind,
Exactly.
like learning to use your words, like find the words.
Yes.
Find the words. There's so many words in so many languages, right? To be able to get your point across. And it's okay to agree. We can agree to disagree. But with kindness and smiles, and I love that. I love that's your wish, because that's always been one of my big wishes too. So I understand like a lot of parents and guardians that are not really with our program. Like they don't like support child nutrition and feeding everyone. And so like how can we what should we tell them, for people who think like that?
Well, that's like what you were talking about, education. It all starts with educating them. And I know there's schools that'll have like an open house in the evening where they'll serve our food and show the nutritionals and everything that we do to make it nutritious and tasteful for the children. I think that's the best way to go right there, is when you can bring like the PTA or the or go to one of the big school events where they have well, they don't right now, but they used to.
I miss those. Yeah.
Pandemic.
I used to love meeting
you go to like the big fall fling or whatever, and reach people that way. I think it's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, so they get it. And with everything going on, like COVID and just it's a lot of changes. We've all had to adapt, right, to new lifestyle. I'm curious, Peggy, how do you stay so what do you do that's just for you to be home?
Oh, well, I've always been a game player. Ooh. So if I need to relax, I play games. And, right now I can't like go to game nights and stuff like that like I used to. But I can still play games on my computer and with my grandchildren and my grandchildren, of course. That's, that also gives me the
We should make another video, Peggy, where we do like my Tai Chi together.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think I've made some practice for that.
No, it's nothing. It's 8 minutes, super slow, easy movements. Like, it's super fun, and we could totally do that just to make everybody like have them have a chuckle. Because they're gonna be like, Winnie, where's my arm? Wait, where do I put my leg? And I love that, like we put it out there. It's so raw. It's unedited. It's unscripted. And, it's just us being us girls and talking about things that matter to us. And you always, oh my God, 20 years in the industry and all the kids, all the babies you fed. It's amazing.
It is.
Just thinking back, right? So.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything you want to say to like the parents, guardians, anybody out there just, needing a little bit of inspiration and keep going? Because, there's so many that perhaps are feeling like, why am I here? Why am I still doing this? Why am I struggling? Like, because it's a hard job. It's a tough job, feeding
It is a
kids.
really
It's a
hard
lot of
job.
work,
And
physically,
yeah,
mentally,
yeah,
emotionally.
all
It's
of
a
it.
lot. People don't
And right
know.
now, it's harder than ever before.
Yeah.
What they're having to do right now because of this pandemic has made their jobs that much harder. And my heart goes out to all the lunch workers out there.
Mhm.
I love you guys. Keep up
Yeah.
the good work.
Yay! Thank you, Peggy. I love you too, sister. I'll call you later. Tai Chi.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.